Hey, what's up everyone? I want to start this video by firstly wishing you all a very happy new year. And if you've had a great year and you hit your accomplishments, then I'll say congratulations to you. If you've had a difficult year, then that's okay too. This is the perfect time to reinvent yourself, chase new dreams and set yourself new goals. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 ways to increase your productivity and make sure you hit those New Year's resolutions that you make every year. I guarantee you, if you implement these five steps, then you'll start seeing immediate results after a month or so. And that will give you the momentum you need to not only hit your goals by the end of the year, but actually exceed them. So the first thing you want to do is figure out what you want to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years. What is the actual dream? Now, this is probably the single most important thing that you have to do before you can even start looking into your New Year's resolutions or even setting yourself any goals for this year. What is the end game? What is it that you actually want from life? Maybe you want to be a CEO of a major corporation. You want to be a millionaire. Maybe you want to be your own boss. You want to travel the world and just be happy. So what I'm actually trying to say here is before you can even start thinking about the New Year's resolutions you want to make or start thinking about the little details and the tasks you want to do, you have to first figure out what your dream is. You need to know where you're going in the next 5 to 10 years, because if you don't know that, you're going to achieve nothing. You must have a vision that you can work towards. Otherwise, what will happen is one year you may do something, the next year you might do something else, and the following year you probably do something else. And at the end of 5 years or 5 or 10 years or so, you notice that you haven't really done anything that substantial. It's extremely important to really understand, to have that dream and the vision. The end game has to be there before you can even start to think about anything else. Let me give you an example, guys. For most people, or a lot of people out there, a common New Year's resolution is just to get fit. Right? Just to get fit is not exactly a vision, it's not exactly a dream, is it? It's just something you kind of want to do. And if you're that vague about what you actually want to do, then you're never really going to go and do it. Instead, try and think bigger. Think of a vision that you can actually aspire to. So let's say, for example, you want to, get the same body as a celebrity, your favorite celebrity, or say a sportsman or a woman that you admire. So let's take men, for example. Let's say Cristiano Ronaldo, the football player, is the dream body that you actually want. Now, that is something that you can easily visualize. You can understand, what it takes to get a body like that. So you're probably thinking, how do I figure out what my dream is? I don't really know what I want to do in the next 5 to 10 years. Now, that's okay, guys. That is absolutely fine. The best way to do this is to just sit down and be completely honest with yourself. Sit down and make a list of, say, 10 things that you want to achieve over a lifetime. Just put anything down there. So maybe you want to start your own business. Maybe you just want to change your career and start doing something else. Maybe you just want to sell up your house and sell up everything and just move abroad. And believe me when I say this, it is never too late to do this, and you are never too old to dream. Just write it all down. Make a list of 10 or more if you have that, if you can. After you've made your list, then force yourself to only pick 3. Once you force yourself to pick only 3, then you'll know exactly what your real priorities are and what your actual ambitions are. And then just get rid of the rest of them. Just get rid of the rest of them. Don't even think about the others. Just stick with those 3. And that's going to be your vision, your dream for the next 5 to 10 years. So just to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing for the next 5 to 10 years and what my plans are. So the first thing is I want to do, become a YouTuber full time. So create content full time. It's something I've always wanted to do. Never thought I'd enjoy it, but I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit. So I kind of want to make a commitment to it. The second thing I want to do is build a property portfolio of around 10 properties, including both flats and homes. And I've put myself a little condition in there saying that 4 of those properties have to be somewhere abroad. The reason why I say this is because, me and my wife, we whenever we travel or go on holiday, we kind of fall in love with the place and think to ourselves, wouldn't it be great to live here? So if that's something we always talk about and dream about, I say, let's go and do it. The third thing on my list is to become as strong and as fit as someone called Rich Froning. Now, Rich Froning is one of the greatest CrossFit champions in the world. He's got such an amazing physique. He's got such an amazing fitness, and it's something I wanna do. And that's it, guys. Right now, all of this is a dream, and that's absolutely fine. That's the first step you need to take before you can ever achieve anything in your life. So in the rest of the video, we're going to talk about how you're going to turn that dream or that vision into reality. Okay guys, so the next thing I'm going to talk about in this video to increase your productivity is being able to focus on the dream and not get distracted. So the biggest single mistake most people make in their lives when it comes to achieving their dreams or making a success is that they are easily distracted and not able to give the time and the attention that one's dream needs to make it a success. In fact, some of the most successful people in the world that we know today abide by these rules of saying you need to stay focused on the highest priority items and just say no to everything else. Staying focused is the single most important ingredient to being a success. Here's a really cool article that I found, and it's about Warren Buffett. So for those of you who don't know who Warren Buffett is, he's one of the most successful investors of all time. He's currently one of the richest men, and he says, this one simple habit separates successful people from everyone else. And he goes on to say, okay, right here's a quote: the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Okay, now this article goes on to also talk about Steve Jobs, because he said something very similar to it. Steve Jobs agreed it's about focus. So for those of you who don't know who Steve Jobs is, he's like, the founder of Apple Computers, a tech pioneer. So he goes, people think focus means saying yes to the thing that you've got to focus on. But that's not what it means at all. It means saying no to the 100 other good ideas that there are. You have to pick carefully. I'm actually as proud of the things we haven't done as the things I have done. Innovation is saying no to 1,000 things. Now just let that whole thing about focus on what Warren Buffett and Steve Jobs said just sink in for a little bit. Just give yourself some time to really think about what that means for you. I mean, I'm sure you've got a hectic lifestyle, and then I'm sure you can actually rearrange it or organize it in a way where you're actually focusing on your dreams and not doing a whole bunch of other things that are just not really that important. Say, for example, you're spending your Sundays out in the garden, cutting the grass, or you spend your Sundays washing a car and doing other things like that, doing other household chores, then you're not exactly spending what I think is valuable time on developing your dream or developing that thing that's going to make you successful. So guys, now we can move on to the next thing on this list, and that's creating an action plan for this year. So we now know what we want to do in the next 5 to 10 years. We know what the dream is, but now we want to actually set ourselves some targets for this coming year. So remember, it has to be actual tasks, actual actionable tasks that you can do and measure. It doesn't have to be too detailed or too complicated, but just put something down that's realistic. For example, in 2020, I decided to do the following. So the first thing is my YouTube channel. So I decided that the first thing I want to do is actually post 60 videos on my channel by the end of the year. And the second thing is to gain 1,000 subscribers. So my plan is, with the first one, is I can roughly do, one video per week. So that should get me my target around 60 by the end of the year. And with the 1,000 subscribers, it's slightly out of my control, but what I can do is try and increase my network by going on Facebook and, and being more active there, try and gain more Instagram followers and using some other social media. Also, I'm going to try and attend a lot more networking events and try and promote my channel that way. The second thing that was on my list was, building a property portfolio. Now, I set myself a target this year of just buying one property. So what we're trying to do is actually go into the Airbnb business and try and provide service accommodations. The reason why we're doing that is because, doing it that way, you actually earn 3 to 4 times more than your rental income. I'll actually be documenting that whole process on my channel, so please check that out too. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on those videos. And also, this is the perfect time to say, just smash that like button. So the third thing that was on my list was, around my health and fitness, and that is I wanted to build a body and be as strong as Rich Froning. Now, how I decided to do that is set myself, 4 sessions per week, so 4 1-hour gym sessions per week. And instead of just going to the gym and just, turning up and saying, okay, today I'll do a bit of chest and today I'll do a bit of legs or whatever like that, I'm actually going to follow a program. So that way, when I go to the gym, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm not wasting time figuring out what I need to do. Okay, so moving on, the next thing on this list, number 4, is execution. We have the dream, we have the plan. Now, all we need to do is execute. So guys, remember, it's extremely important that your plan is up to shape, and it's really important that it's realistic, because at this point, all you want to do is just get going and get yourself into a routine. And what you will start to notice is after a couple of weeks or so, things will start to get easy. You'll become a lot more efficient in the things that you're doing. And if you are disciplined and stay focused and don't get distracted, then you'll start seeing some amazing results, and you'll start noticing an enormous amount of output. And that output will give you so much more motivation and so much more confidence to just continue. And before you know it, you're exceeding your targets. Okay, so the last thing on this list, last but not least, is review and adjust. So what I recommend is review every 3 months or so. So that's every quarter. I'm not sure why I chose every quarter. Maybe because I've been in banking my entire life and it just seems like, the normal thing to do. This is an extremely important part of the whole process. You need to make sure you're reviewing what you are doing to see if you're going to meet your target by the end of the year. You need to see if the actual routine is working for you or if the plan needs changing. Maybe you need to say no more often to people. Maybe you need to increase the amount of time you spend on your goals. So there's all these things that need to happen, because At the end of the day, you're not going to get it all right in the beginning, and that's all you need to do, guys. If you can implement this process, this 5-step process, and just do it every year, year in, year out, I guarantee you in the next 5 to 10 years, you will get closer to your dreams. And you know, it's all up to you. You can make these changes here today, and it's a perfect time to get started. Don't worry about the naysayers, they'll always be around. You know, dream big, guys. You know, don't get distracted, plan, execute, and just review. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time.